Keep within, and when they say, look here or look there is Christ, go not forth, for Christ is within you. And those who try to draw your minds away from the teaching inside you are opposed to Christ. For the measure's within, and the light of God is within, and the pearl is within, though hidden. Please be seated. That's a text by the 17th century Quaker George Fox and set to music by contemporary artist Paulette Meyer. Fox wrote these words in 1652 during a period of long, bitter, and bloody commingling of religion, politics, and conquest known as the English Civil War. It was an era when rulers cloaked themselves in religious piety while using military force to acquire and retain political power. We have snow falling off the roof. It's okay? Snow falling off the roof. All right. Keep within. So the English Civil War, this was an era when rulers cloaked themselves in religious piety while using military force to acquire and retain political power. And as a Quaker, and thus as part of the group that those in power had designated the wrong kind of Christian, Fox knew what it meant and what it took to resist the forces that would scatter and discourage the faithful. And I find myself returning to this chant quite a bit these days, especially with every bit of technology and every news report and snow falling from the roof and all of the temptations that are actually engineered to draw us away from the center, draw us away from Christ. Now, Lent always opens with this archetypal story of Jesus being driven into the desert to be tempted by the devil. And it can seem pretty fantastic, right? And pretty unmoored from our reality. But I actually learned something recently that broke open this passage in a whole new way for me. Do you know what the Greek root of the word devil literally means? It means to throw in all directions. And in John's gospel, Jesus is referred to as what? The Logos. And the Greek root of that means literally to gather together. So what we have in this story is one force, the devil, who is determined to scatter, to disorder, to disintegrate creation, and another, Jesus, the Logos, who is determined to gather all things and hold them together. And so this is more than just a nifty morality tale about supernatural willpower or the need to maintain moral purity. It's about this ongoing cosmic tension between gathering and scattering. And Jesus refuses to be scattered. Are you hungry? The devil asks. Guess what? You have the power to fix that. Stones into bread. Boom! But Jesus is about feeding and multiplying loaves in order to feed the multitudes, not about satiating himself in the wilderness. You want to change the world? Here is all of the kingdoms for you to rule. From a mountaintop retreat, no less, in a gated community, away from all of the smelly and dirty crowds. But Jesus wields power by doing what? Tying a towel around his waist and washing people's feet. Do you want everyone to know without a doubt who you are and what you can do? Then put on a terrifying spectacle and wow them into submission. Now, Jesus does embrace a terrifying spectacle, one where he is lifted up, but only to stretch out his arms of love on the hard wood of the cross so that everyone might come within the reach of his saving embrace, as one of our prayers says. One scatters, the other gathers. The devil promises power, unlimited power, but it's power that is thrown in all directions. It's deployed to maximize chaos, to divide communities, and to increase our individual isolation. And Jesus turns away from it. He stays gathered. He stays centered in the Father and gathered and centered in his mission and in solidarity with humanity and with all creation. Join me this time. Keep within, and when they say, look here or look there is Christ, go not forth, for Christ is within you. And those who try to draw your minds away from the teaching inside you are opposed to Christ. For the measure's within, and the light of God is within, and the pearl is within, though hidden. This cosmic tension between gathering and scattering has been going on for a very, very long time, friends. We've seen it in ideologies that promise to solve everything. We see it in leaders who promise to fix everything. We see it in technological solutions that those getting paid billions swear will save us if they don't destroy us first. And all of this may have increased in frequency over the most recent century, but the scattering always leaves us more isolated and more anxious. And like I said last week, when we are anxious and scattered and desperate, we start looking for shortcuts and quick fixes and immediate answers. We start wanting all the answers, all the power, all the kingdoms in our control. You see, the devil's strategy hasn't changed. He still wants us running in all directions, believing that we are all alone, that we can't trust each other, but that we can somehow still have it all. Jesus' strategy hasn't changed either. He feeds multitudes by gathering them together and performing the miracle of getting them to share generously from what they already have. He is lifted up, but not in a spectacular leap from the temple, but on the cross. And in that supreme moment of ultimate scattering, of things falling apart and the center not holding, he's actually gathering all people to himself in that moment. The Logos holding all things together, even in and through death. He does receive all authority, but not by separating himself from creation, but by emptying himself so fully into creation that we are able to become like him. One force scatters, another one gathers. And Lent is our time to practice all of the disciplines that help gather us back to God. So when in this season you start feeling pulled in all directions, just stop and take a breath. Maybe try to name what it is that's pulling you apart, and then practice regathering. Return to the center. Return to your community. Keep within and abide with God, who holds all things together, even when, and maybe especially when, we can't. If we do this, then when Holy Week arrives, or when things do fall apart, we will know deep down that Christ is still holding it all together. One more time, and the words are in your bulletin. Keep within, and when they say, look here or look there is Christ, go not forth, for Christ is within you. And those who try to draw your minds away from the teaching inside you are opposed to Christ. For the measure's within, and the light of God is within, and the pearl is within, though hidden. Amen.